He walked into the mall as a billionaire and saw his ex-girlfriend cleaning the floor as a janitor. 5 years ago, she believed in him when he had nothing. Now he had everything, and she had nothing. What he did next made the entire mall fall silent. Stay tuned because you are about to watch a beautiful story and find out what he did next. Hello family, welcome to Tales by King. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more beautiful stories. Thank you as you do so. Sit back, relax as we dive into the story. The black luxury car rolled quietly into the parking area of Silver Crown Mall. It was early morning. The mall had just opened. Few customers were inside yet. The lights were bright, the floors were shiny, and soft music played from the speakers. Inside the car sat Ethan Blackwood. He looked calm on the outside, but his mind was busy. Ethan was one of the youngest billionaires in the country. His tech company had grown so fast that magazines now called him the silent genius. But today, he did not come for meetings. He did not come for interviews. He did not come with bodyguards. He came alone. Silver Crown Mall was one of his newest investments. He liked to inspect his properties without telling anyone. It helped him see the truth, how things really worked when no one was pretending. Ethan stepped out of the car. His suit was simple but expensive. Black jacket, white shirt, no tie. His watch alone was worth more than most cars in the parking lot. As he walked toward the glass entrance, people began to notice him. Some whispered, "Is that him? That looks like Ethan Blackwood." "Oh my God, it really is." Ethan ignored the attention. He was used to it. Fame had become noise. The automatic doors opened. Cool air brushed his face. Inside, the mall looked perfect. Clean floors, bright signs, workers arranging shops, security guards standing alert. Ethan walked slowly, observing everything. Then something small caught his attention. A cleaning cart. It was parked near a clothing store. Beside it stood a woman in a blue janitor uniform. She was wiping the glass door carefully, using slow, gentle movements. Ethan did not know why, but his steps slowed. The woman tied her hair back with a black band. A few loose strands fell on her face. She looked tired. Not weak, but tired in a deep way. Something about her felt familiar. Very familiar. Ethan's heart began to beat faster. She turned slightly, and Ethan froze. The world around him disappeared. The music, the voices, the lights, all gone. It was her. Maya. His hands started shaking. The same eyes, the same soft face, the same quiet presence, but different. The Maya he remembered used to laugh easily. She wore bright dresses. She talked about dreams. This Maya wore gloves. She held a mop. Her shoulders were heavy, like she carried years on her back. Ethan felt a sharp pain in his chest. He could not breathe properly. 5 years. 5 years since he last saw her. 5 years since he walked away. And now the woman he once promised to marry was cleaning the floor of a mall he owned. Maya did not see him yet. She bent down to pick up a piece of paper from the floor and placed it in her trash bag. She continued working quietly while rich shoppers walked past her without a second look. Ethan stood there, unable to move. Memories crashed into his mind. Maya making tea in their small kitchen. Maya smiling at him when he felt like a failure. Maya saying, "We'll be okay, Ethan. I believe in you." His eyes became wet. He whispered her name again. Maya. But his voice was too low. She didn't hear him. And for the first time in his billionaire life, Ethan Blackwood felt poorer than he had ever felt before. Ethan remained standing in the middle of the mall, his eyes still fixed on Maya. She pushed her cleaning cart forward slowly, moving to the next shop. The wheels made a soft sound against the floor. Ethan finally took a step, then another. He followed her from a short distance, not wanting to scare her, not knowing what to say. His heart was beating fast, like he was walking toward something dangerous and precious at the same time. As he watched her work, his mind began to travel backward, into the past. 5 years earlier, Ethan and Maya lived in a small apartment on the 3rd floor of an old building. The paint on the walls was peeling. The sofa was broken on one side, but the place always smelled like warm food and laughter. Maya used to wake up early every morning. She worked at a small cafe. After work, she came home and baked in their tiny kitchen. She loved baking. Cakes, bread, cookies. She dreamed of owning a small bakery one day. A simple place with her name on the sign. Ethan used to sit at the table with his laptop, trying again and again to build his tech idea. But nothing worked. Every investor rejected him. Every project failed. Bills kept coming. Some nights, Ethan stared at the ceiling, unable to sleep. "I feel useless," he once said quietly. Maya held his hand. "You are not useless. You just haven't succeeded yet." But slowly, pressure changed Ethan. He became quiet, then angry, then distant. One evening, after another rejection email, Ethan came home late. His eyes were red. His voice was cold. "We need to talk," he said. Maya felt something was wrong. They sat across from each other in the small living room. "I can't do this anymore," Ethan said. Maya frowned. "Do what?" "Us," he replied. "This life. This struggle. I'm dragging you down." Maya shook her head. "No, Ethan. We are building together." Ethan stood up, his hands shaking. "I'm tired of being a failure. I'm tired of watching you believe in me when I don't even believe in myself." Maya's eyes filled with tears. "I don't need you to be rich," she said softly. "I just need you to stay." Ethan turned away. "You deserve better than this," he said. "Better than me." And with those words, he left. No long goodbye. No proper explanation. Just a broken door and a broken heart. Back in the mall, Ethan swallowed hard. He remembered the last message Maya sent him. "I still believe in you. Even if you don't." He never replied. Months after leaving, Ethan's business suddenly succeeded. A big investor discovered his idea. Everything changed. Money, fame, success. But when he tried to find Maya, she was gone. Her number no longer worked. Her social media was deleted. Her apartment was empty. And now, after all these years, she was right in front of him, cleaning floors. And Ethan realized something painful. He did not lose Maya because of failure. He lost her because of fear. Ethan stood still for a moment after that thought hit him. I lost her because of fear. Not because he was broke. Not because he was struggling. Not because life was hard. But because he ran away when he felt ashamed. He watched Maya as she moved to another section of the mall. She stopped near a sitting area and began wiping the tables. Her movements were careful, quiet, and professional, like she had done this 1,000 times. Ethan took a slow breath. He could not keep watching from a distance like a stranger. So he stepped forward. His shoes made a soft sound against the shiny floor. Maya did not look up yet. She picked up a cup someone had left behind, threw it away, and continued wiping. Ethan's throat tightened. His voice came out low and shaky. "Maya." Maya paused. Her hand froze on the table. She slowly turned her head, like she wasn't sure she heard correctly. Then she looked up, and their eyes met. For a second, Maya's face went blank, like her mind could not understand what her eyes were seeing. Then her eyes widened. Her lips parted slightly. The cloth in her hand slipped and fell onto the table. "Ethan," she whispered. Ethan nodded once, as if he was afraid moving too much would make her disappear. "It's me," he said softly. Maya stared at him the way someone stares at a memory that suddenly becomes real. She looked at his suit, his clean haircut, his strong, calm posture, the expensive watch on his wrist. Then she looked at herself, the blue uniform, the gloves, the cleaning cart beside her. Her cheeks flushed with embarrassment. Maya quickly picked up the cloth again and forced a small smile. "Oh, hi," she said, but her voice sounded thin. "I didn't expect to see you here." Ethan's eyes moved to her hands. They looked rougher than before. Her fingers had small marks, the kind that came from hard work and strong cleaning chemicals. He swallowed hard. I came to inspect the mall," he said. Maya nodded slowly, still trying to act normal, but Ethan could see her hands shaking slightly. "So, you own this place now?" she asked quietly, like she already knew the answer but needed to hear it. Ethan looked down for a moment. "Yes," he admitted. "I do." Maya let out a soft breath, almost like a tired laugh, but it carried pain. "Of course you do," she murmured. Ethan's chest hurt. He wanted to reach for her hands. He wanted to pull her into a hug and tell her he was sorry. But he remembered one important thing. Maya was not the type of woman who liked pity. So he kept his distance, but his voice became gentle. "You work here?" he asked, even though he already knew. Maya nodded. "Yes, I do." Ethan's eyes turned red. He struggled to keep his voice steady. "How long?" he asked. Maya hesitated. Then she answered honestly. "Almost a year." Ethan blinked, shocked. "A year," he repeated. Maya looked away. "You look surprised," she said softly. "People don't usually imagine someone like me ending up like this." Ethan shook his head quickly. "No, that's not it. He took a step closer, careful, respectful. I'm surprised because I never thought life would treat you like this. Maya's eyes returned to his. And what did you think? She asked, her voice still calm, but there was something sharp inside it. That I was living fine. That I moved on and became happy. Ethan opened his mouth, but no words came out. Because the truth was, he never allowed himself to imagine her suffering. It was easier not to think about it. Maya tightened her grip on the cloth. Then she spoke in a controlled voice, like she was trying not to break. Ethan, why are you here? Why are you talking to me? Ethan's voice cracked. Because I found you, he said. And I can't pretend I didn't. Maya took a slow breath. She looked around nervously. Some shoppers were already starting to notice them. 2 teenage girls were whispering and staring at Ethan. Maya felt uncomfortable. She moved her cart slightly, like she wanted to escape the attention. We shouldn't talk here, she said quietly. I'm working. Ethan nodded quickly. Yes, you're right. He glanced at her name tag. It still said Maya in clear letters. Something about that simple name tag tore at him. A woman who once dreamed of owning a bakery now wore a tag like she was invisible. Ethan's voice became softer. Maya, he said carefully. Please, just give me 5 minutes. That's all. Maya hesitated. Then she nodded once. 5 minutes. Ethan pointed gently toward a quieter corner near a closed store. They walked there slowly. Maya kept a small distance between them, like she wasn't sure if Ethan was real or if he was another painful memory. When they reached the corner, Ethan spoke first. I tried to find you, he said quickly. After my business started growing, I looked everywhere. Maya gave a small bitter smile. And yet, you didn't find me. Ethan nodded, shame in his eyes. I know. I failed. Maya's expression hardened slightly. No, Ethan, she said. You didn't fail. She stared into his face, her voice calm but heavy. You stopped trying. Those words hit Ethan like a slap. He swallowed hard. Maya continued. After you left, everything became harder, she said. Not because you were my money, but because you were my home. Ethan's eyes filled with tears. Maya looked down, like she was forcing herself to stay strong. My mother got sick, she said quietly. Ethan's face changed immediately. Sick? He asked, fear rising in his voice. Maya nodded slowly. She needed treatment. Medicines. Hospital visits. Maya's voice trembled a little. I used my savings. I borrowed. I worked extra shifts. Ethan's heart sank. I didn't know, he whispered. Maya's eyes lifted to him. You weren't there to know, she said. Silence fell between them. The mall noise felt far away. Then Maya continued, her voice softer now, but full of truth. When the cafe closed, I lost my job, she explained. I applied everywhere. I begged in offices. I went to interviews. But nothing worked. Ethan's fists clenched at his sides. Maya swallowed. And when my mother passed, she paused, and her eyes became watery. I had nothing left. Ethan's breath caught. Maya, he whispered. But Maya wiped her cheek quickly and forced herself to keep talking. So I took whatever job I could get, she said. This mall hired me. Ethan stared at her, completely broken inside. The woman he once loved had been drowning, and he had been living in a world of lights and success, not knowing her darkness. Maya held her chin up again. But I'm not ashamed, she said firmly. Work is work. Ethan nodded slowly, tears sliding down his face. I'm ashamed, he said quietly. Because you should never have faced all that alone. Maya looked at him for a long time. Her voice became a whisper. Why did you really leave, Ethan? Ethan closed his eyes. Because this was the question that mattered. And the answer would decide everything. Ethan's chest rose and fell slowly. Maya's question hung in the air like heavy smoke. Why did you really leave, Ethan? For a moment, Ethan could not speak. Because the truth was not simple. And it was not pretty. It was the kind of truth a man hides, even from himself. Ethan looked at Maya's face, her tired eyes, the small lines of pain that life had drawn on her. He remembered her laughter from years ago, and it made his throat burn. He finally spoke, his voice low and honest. I left because I was scared, he admitted. Maya frowned slightly. Scared of what? Ethan swallowed. Scared that you would wake up one day and realize you wasted your life with a man who couldn't succeed, he said. I felt like a failure every time you smiled at me. It made me feel worse, not better. Because you deserved more. Maya's eyes softened, but her pain did not disappear. So you decided the best thing, she said slowly, was to break me first before life could. Ethan flinched. The words hit him hard because they were true. I was selfish, he whispered. I told myself I was protecting you, but I was really protecting my pride. Maya looked away. Her lips pressed together like she was holding back tears. Ethan's voice shook. I hated myself for leaving, he continued. But after that night, I felt like I couldn't come back. I thought you would hate me. I thought you would slam the door in my face. Maya gave a sad, quiet laugh. And you were right, she said softly. I would have. Ethan's eyes filled again. But I still tried to find you, he said quickly. When my business started rising, I tried. I swear I did. I hired people. I asked around. You were gone. Maya nodded slowly. I moved, she said. After my mom died, that apartment felt like a grave. Everything reminded me of you. Ethan's hands trembled. I'm sorry, he whispered again, like the word could heal 5 years of pain. Maya wiped her face quickly, looking embarrassed that her emotions were showing. Ethan noticed that too. He noticed everything. The way she kept her shoulders tight. The way she spoke like someone who learned to survive alone. The way she avoided being seen. And something inside Ethan snapped. Not anger. Not pride. Something deeper. A decision. He looked around. The mall was getting busier now. A few people were stopping to stare. Some were whispering. A security guard at a distance recognized Ethan and was already watching closely, unsure if he should approach. Maya noticed the stares too, and her body tensed. We should stop talking, she said quietly. People are looking. But Ethan did not step back. Instead, he stepped closer. Not too close to touch her. Just close enough to make her feel safe. I won't let anyone make you feel small again, he said, his voice firm. Maya blinked. Ethan, don't. Ethan raised his hand gently, not to silence her, but to calm her. Please, he said. Just listen. Maya stood still, confused, nervous. Ethan took off his expensive suit jacket. The movement alone made nearby shoppers whisper louder. A billionaire taking off his jacket in the middle of the mall. Then Ethan removed his watch and placed it carefully into his pocket. Maya stared at him. What are you doing? She asked, her voice shaking. Ethan looked her in the eyes. I'm stepping into the moment I avoided for 5 years, he said. I'm doing what I should have done a long time ago. Then, right there on the shiny floor, in that quiet corner of the mall, Ethan Blackwood knelt down. Maya gasped loudly. No, Ethan. Please stand up, she cried, panicking. People are watching. But Ethan stayed on one knee. He didn't care who saw him. He didn't care who filmed him. He didn't care who mocked him. Because for once, he cared more about the truth than his image. His eyes were wet, his voice shaking. I'm sorry, Maya, he said, the words breaking out of him like a flood. I'm sorry for leaving you. Sorry for disappearing. Sorry for letting you face life alone while I chased success. Maya covered her mouth with her hand. Tears fell from her eyes without permission. Ethan continued, his voice louder now, not for the crowd, but because his heart could no longer hold it in. You carried me when I was weak, he said. You fed me when I was broke. You believed in me when I had nothing to offer. Maya's knees felt weak. People were now fully stopping. A small crowd formed. A woman whispered, That's Ethan Blackwood. Another said, Is he proposing? Someone else murmured, Why is he kneeling? Maya looked around, embarrassed, overwhelmed. Ethan, please, she begged. But Ethan looked up at her like a man begging for air. I built everything they call success, he said, voice cracking. But I lost the one person who made my life feel worth living. His shoulders shook slightly. Then he added, very softly, I don't want money to speak for me. I want my heart to speak. Maya's tears fell faster. Ethan reached into his pocket and pulled out something small. Not a diamond ring. Not a rich gift. Just a simple folded paper. Maya stared. What is that? Ethan opened it carefully and held it up. It was an old, worn piece of paper. The edges were soft like it had been handled many times. Maya leaned closer and saw what it was. It was a note. Her note. The last note she had left him on the table years ago. The one that said, I still believe in you. Even if you don't. Maya gasped and began to cry harder. You kept that, she whispered. Ethan nodded, tears sliding down his face. I kept it in my wallet every day, he said. Every day, Maya. It reminded me of the kind of love I didn't deserve. Maya covered her face, shaking. Ethan spoke again, slow and clear. I can't change the past, he said. But I can change what happens next. He held out his hand, still kneeling. Come with me, he said. Not as charity. Not as a rescue. Not as someone I pity. He swallowed and looked at her with pure honesty. Come with me, because I still love you. And I want to spend the rest of my life proving I'm not running anymore. Maya stared down at him. Her heart was torn, because part of her wanted to run, but another part of her still remembered the man she once loved. And the crowd around them held their breath, waiting to see what Maya would do next. The mall felt silent, not because there was no sound, but because every heart around them was listening. Maya stood in front of Ethan, her eyes filled with tears, her hands shaking at her sides. Ethan was still kneeling, still holding out his hand, still waiting. Time felt slow. Maya's mind was full of memories. The good ones, the painful ones, the nights she cried alone, the days she begged life to be kind again. She looked at Ethan, not at his suit, not at his wealth, not at the people watching. She looked at his eyes, and she saw something she had not seen in years. Truth. Not confidence. Not pride. Not success. Just truth. Maya took a slow step back. The crowd gasped. Some thought she was about to leave. Ethan's heart dropped. But then, Maya took a deep breath. And slowly, she reached out her hand. Not to take his, but to lift him up. Stand up, Ethan, she said gently. His eyes widened. Please, she added. Don't kneel for me. Ethan stood, his legs shaking. Maya looked up at him and spoke quietly but clearly. I didn't need you to come back rich, she said. I needed you to come back honest. Ethan nodded, tears falling freely. I am honest now, he whispered. And I will be every day. Maya closed her eyes for a moment. Then she said something that made everyone emotional. I don't need your money, Ethan. The crowd murmured. Ethan nodded again. I know. Maya continued. I don't need a mansion. I don't need luxury. I don't need to be rescued. Her voice shook. But I need to know one thing. Ethan leaned closer. That if life becomes hard again, you won't run. Ethan placed his hand over his heart. I swear, he said. Even if I lose everything, I will stay. Maya searched his face. Long. Deep. Then she finally whispered the words Ethan had waited 5 years to hear. Then I choose you. The crowd broke into quiet tears. Some people clapped. Some people wiped their eyes. Even the security guard looked emotional. Maya did not hug Ethan immediately. Instead, she said softly, I still have work to finish. Ethan smiled through his tears. Of course you do. And for the first time that day, they both laughed. A small laugh, but real. That same evening, Ethan waited outside the mall. Not in his car, but standing, like someone who had learned patience. Maya came out wearing her simple clothes, holding her bag. Ethan opened the door for her. Not like a billionaire, but like a man in love. Weeks later, something beautiful happened. Not in a palace, not in a hotel, not in front of cameras, but in a small empty shop space near the old cafe where Maya once worked. Ethan gave her a key. Maya looked confused. What is this? Ethan smiled. Your bakery. Maya froze. What? I'm not giving it to you, Ethan said quickly. I'm helping you build it. Maya's eyes filled with tears again. The sign they later placed above the shop read, Maya's oven, built with love. Maya became the owner. Ethan became her partner. Not the boss. Not the savior. Just the man who stayed. And on opening day, as customers filled the small bakery and the smell of fresh bread filled the air, Ethan stood behind the counter with flour on his hands and tears in his eyes. Because he finally understood something simple and powerful. You can lose money and rebuild it. You can lose fame and recover. But if you lose someone who truly loves you, not even $1 billion can replace them. And as Maya looked at Ethan and smiled the way she used to 5 years ago, the world saw the real ending. Not a billionaire saving a poor woman, but two broken people choosing each other again, and building a better life, not with money, but with love. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope you find this story worth watching. If you do, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more beautiful stories, like, comment, and share this video to your friends and loved ones. Your support and engagement encourage me to post more videos. Thanks for watching.